So the stands have arrived. These two stands, this and this, they actually have the same holder, curiously enough. These are the stands on the floor. You can see that one is more of a gooseneck and it has a long rod. The other one has a shorter rod. Comparing to what you see from Mr. Dan, Mr. Dan's is tallest. And then the other one is this bed attachment. I put it on the door, didn't know how else to do it. I kind of go through them one by one. But what's interesting is that all of them have metal balls. You can see it in here also, metal balls. I also tested that all of them are more narrow. These actually have metal. This is like full on plastic, it bends. And they're not as wide as our holder, this one. What I did notice is something interesting is that these are deeper than ours. And what's also curious is that these end parts, they're made from rubber, which is not a bad idea. So they have rubber starting from here. So this whole part, you can see the line, is made from rubber, and even the front thing is made from rubber. And you can see how it finishes. Yeah, it finishes attaching here. So it's an interesting take on these. But yeah, let's start first with this guy. So the base, this thing comes with three metal rods. They tune into each other. The thing connects into the base without a screw, oddly enough. Instead, it protrudes from the outside, and then like the thing just screws in. So there's like a ridge, a thick ridge that comes out. I can't tighten it pretty well. Can't get it out. Yeah, this thing is pretty tight. What I noticed interesting is if for sitting position, this thing is probably too high. You are looking actually forward, up. It's not super stable. It's a bit dancing. If you compare it with Mr. Dan's, Mr. Dan's is more stable. It has a stronger weight. So the weight also adds to the FB80. I don't know, I didn't actually measure what it is. But yeah, and let me try. Let me change this. Is there any way to? Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a way. But yeah, I'll take the tablet out. And put it in. And yeah, you can see, so I'm sitting here. This is like eye level, so this thing is pretty high. For some reason I can't switch the size of the camera. So, I mean, I guess if I do something like this, this is what you can do. Yeah, you can modify it. There's not really much. So this one was. What's good about this gooseneck is there isn't really much I can break and tilt. So it's kind of like universal. From this perspective, the holder, as you can see, is not exactly super tight. So there's only basically this thing that needs to be tightened. Everything else, it doesn't, but it doesn't really turn. It doesn't turn well sideways. So, like, in fact, I couldn't even get this thing to be very straight because of the way that the bolts tighten. So it tightened already there at an angle. So that's one. Then you have this thing. The actual this this thing, it's pretty robust actually. So proud of how many angles you can do with it. So it can go down really low, like this. It can go into here. It can go full height. Now there's tightening mechanisms also in here, only on one side, and then the top part is being held by this metal. Not exactly like best quality, but something on the sideline like this. These stuffs came with these instructions. You could look at this email, U2D at Hotmail, LAN Pavilion Service at Outlook. I'm pretty sure these things got designed at the same factory, because it's not coincidental that they choose the same colors. Green color with the way that the highlights are also here. The males are in red, so they just kind of copied each other. This is one-sided. And also the giveaway is that this holder is exactly the same as there, except this one doesn't have a logo. So I think this comes from the same factory, but this is the kind of stuff you see selling on Temu. This is what it came in. This is the gooseneck. This was a lighter box because there's no base. Everything is full on plastic bags. This was the stand for the stand we were just looking at. The branding you can see in this LAN Pavilion Simplified Right, that's it. This gooseneck didn't even have any branding. So yeah, there's the tag. And this is the third stand. This is the floor stand. Which floor stand is this? Oh, right, sorry. So this is the gooseneck. So these two actually come from the same factory. These two. That one is something else. That one is the attachment over there. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, but the boxes, there's no branding, at least on this floor stand, on this one. Because this is this one. And this is the gooseneck. So on gooseneck they have a name, but like minimum branding, super Chinese, everything plastic. It's just the kind of stuff, as I was saying, yeah, like I'm thinking this isn't even Amazon, these are like Temu products. So like as generic as it gets. Yeah, so this one, let me just try to see if I can get this to work. So same attachment as on the other one. Go like that, you can tilt it. And yeah, so this thing can come down. You can, the cool thing with this one is it can turn. I wonder if you can, yeah, because there's like a bar that goes in here, and this was like a really basic tightening mechanism. There's like a metal rod that goes in and just a screw that goes in it to keep it holding. So it's quite versatile, not exactly stable. So in here it actually tips over, so it's best if it's looking forward, which I think is actually probably a problem with this design. If you go to one side, it starts tipping over, so it's like it's one-sided only. The cool thing, you can go on any height, so if you're reading a chair, you can do this. Now, with this one, to compare, it's not as easy to maneuver, but I think it's stronger. This is all plastic, by the way. These are actually metal, but this is much tighter. I find Um, so this is sort of like more robust. So yeah, so you could get it at the same angle. Keep in mind that you want it lower, you'll unscrew this to make it lower, like that. And then you got yourself a reading roulette position. So I think actually this is more robust even though it's more plasticky. I hope it's visible on the video. Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's functional design, so these things work. So I can't say that they don't work. And then this thing, this is the lightest of the two because there's no base. Like it only connects to the side, but like you can't connect it to the side of the table. The angles don't work. And so there's an arm that goes like this. There's a tightening mechanism in here that allows it to, go like that, or you can lower it. And then this, I think the idea was the whole, you put it upside down, so you have it from your bed, you put the iPad there, and you read. And functionally, I think it will work. Now, can you do the same thing with this? With this thing? I mean, you can definitely get it the same height. Let me just try this. Okay, so the goal is to get it the same height. Yeah, like this. You attach the holder to it. So this bowl is plastic, in here it's metal. Some of the technology in here is a bit DIY. Yeah, it wasn't like high tech. What? Yeah. So this is tightened, and basically, yeah, you could do the whole iPad in the bed from the side. I mean, you know, it's not gonna go to the middle of the bed, but you get it close enough. There's directions, so you can glue it like that and come. So I think functionality wise, this guy definitely has it the same. It's a bit of a cleaner design, maybe not as simple as the gooseneck. This is very simple, less things to break. The brown base I think actually is a good idea. It works well because you can do it from any angle. In here, yeah, it's only from the front. And the ergonomic, whether it goes on the bed or not, I'm not sure if it's an actual issue. Because yeah, it's not like there's a gigantic footprint on the other side, like on the circle one. It's 20 centimeters should be okay. And yeah, and compare it with this. So I guess this is the old technology. This one was cool with this. It's very easy to maneuver without having to unscrew. But you can see in here, check this out, this thing is bending. So I guess it's unscrewed. But the way that these legs connect, they're not ideal. So this thing it's easy to move with one hand and to adjust, which is quite convenient. Now this one, you sort of always have to open. I mean, unless you kind of force it, but yeah, I guess you can. But yeah, I suppose the full weight of this, Yeah, this is heavy. So this thing, this has the strongest base. By far, I think the heaviest, maybe twice the weight. So it's more stable. You look at this, you look at this, and you look at this. So when I move actually side to side, it doesn't go. These guys, because of the thin plate, they really easily move. I mean, this one not only moves, but this whole thing wobbles because of the construction in here, the way it goes. So it's not very, so that one is the most stable. So yeah, that's the conclusion. And yeah, and these are the user manuals. So this is the one for the bed holder. So this one, it came with a manual in German, English, French, Spanish, Italian. With indications how to do it, with the listing text, 5 bullet points, and then yeah, explanation how to use it. What I did notice is that these things, they have silicone padding in here, as well as here on this side. This thing is being held by a knob here. There's no other things. There's a knob here to tighten, and then there's a knob here for this metal, and a knob here. And by the way, this is what I was talking about being kind of flimsy. So the way that this opens, I don't know if you can even see that, like that thing. So all this, there's like on a screw, this thing is connected to this metal thing. If you unscrew it, it just opens. But once you tighten it, so this thing tightens, and this puts pressure on the ball, so the ball doesn't move as much. So this thing is a bit fixed. So something like that. Yeah, pretty, I mean, feels robust, but it's like made in USSR kind of stuff. So very old school, old tech. But yeah, this is how they look. I mean, if one thing I could say about this is just it's plasticky. It has a lot of plastic, but it's possible that because of this, the cost is going to be less. The question is the heaviness of the base. Maybe that adds a cost, but this is more versatile. It looks cleaner also. This is a bit industrial. This, I guess, this rod is the cleanest. There's nothing there. You can just stand straight. But I think it's less versatile. It doesn't have as much height. It's made from 3 bars. There's 1, 2, 3. This bar and this bar, they're different thickness, but they connect the same way to the base. Definitely, I can show you. Take this one. Yeah, so as you can see, this is what it looks like, and you basically take this thing, there's like ridges inside. Maybe not enough light to see the ridges. Yeah, they're in the ridges, and then they just screw onto this, which is kind of odd because there's a hole for a screw, but that's the way it is. And on Mr. Dan's design is different. There's an actual screw that goes in, like a thick screw. Yeah, so that's the idea. tightened it. So, gooseneck stand, this Z-shaped whatever, and then we have the Z-shaped bed thing, and then you have Mr. Dan's design.